Welcome to Eat at Joe's. Today, we're making a caramel sauce. A traditional caramel sauce has only 2 ingredients: sugar and cream with a high fat content. You hear cream called different things: heavy cream, double cream. The important thing is you want a cream with a butterfat content of 35% or more. The most important element in understanding how to make caramel is understanding how sugar caramelizes. So let's quickly learn about caramelizing sugar. There is no lesson as cheap and as important as this. Take a 1/4 cup of sugar and 2 tablespoons of water. The water should completely cover the sugar. When you see a thin, even layer of wet sugar, you're ready to fire it up. Set your flame to the highest possible heat, and then just watch it start to boil. You can swirl it at this stage to combine the water and the sugar together. But now that it's combined, you do not want to stir it again. As the sugar mixture boils, the water evaporates away. As the water evaporates away, the mixture becomes hotter. The bubbles begin to get slower. As the temperature begins to reach 350 degrees, the color will start to change. You will begin to see smoke rising from the sugar as it begins to burn. At this point, the sugar has gone too far and is no longer fit for consumption. I'm going to go clean this pot out, but I'll be right back. The only thing that makes cooking a caramel sauce more difficult than what we just did is adding the cream at the proper time. The same ratio applies. We want half as much water as we have sugar. We're going to take a 1/2 cup of sugar with a 1/4 cup of water. Once it looks right, we turn on the heat. In the beginning, it looks pretty much like boiling water. A lot of people say to avoid getting any liquid on the sides of the pan as it will crystallize, but that's really not a problem when it comes to making caramel sauce. As you can see, no matter what you do, the boiling sugar water is going to get up onto the sides of your pot. Our bubbles are just starting to slow down and we're starting to see just a little bit of color. You want to start paying close attention at this point because just like we saw last time, depending on what kind of pot you have, you're going to see either your center or your edges brown faster than the other. This is actually a key to making caramel sauce the way that I do because it allows you to have a very sweet element along with that heavier, more bitter caramelized element. We can see the bubbles are starting to slow down. At this point, you want to pay careful attention to what's going on inside that pot. Just like we saw the first time, caramelization tends to be uneven in most pans. So, you're going to get dark caramelization on one part and light caramelization on another part. This is excellent and key to making a good, sweet, and complex caramel sauce. We can see the outside edge becoming an amber color, while the center maintains white. The center is white because it's still a lower temperature than the outside brown edge. As soon as you can smell smoke, throw in your cream. And that was a 1/2 cup of cream. You want the same amount of cream as you have sugar. Give it a stir and incorporate it, but be ready, it'll probably flare up. Keep stirring to incorporate. As the heat boils off the water from the cream, you'll notice that the mixture takes on a different consistency. Once those bubbles have completely boiled back down, just like this, your caramel sauce is ready to go. And pour that caramel sauce into your jar. Be careful. And don't forget to scrape all the excess. This jar is going to get extremely hot extremely fast, so use a rubber glove and put a lid on it. This is important because it's still evaporating. We want to contain all of that moisture inside our jar. Most caramel sauce at the grocery store contains corn syrup and food coloring. A lot of traditional caramel recipes tell you to include butter. One of the problems with using butter is that it's already separated too much from any other content. The benefit of using cream is that your butter fat is emulsified inside a mixture of protein and water that makes up that cream. Butter is 80% butter fat, and it's already pretty much separated away from all the other contents. That means that when your caramel cools, you're left with a layer of butter fat right on top. That's not what you want. By using heavy cream and then sealing the jar right at the end, you trap any remaining moisture inside that caramel. As the sugar cools, it goes from a liquid state to a solid. As it does that, it traps all of those particles of fat and moisture and protein from the cream, and that's what creates our caramel sauce. Let the jar rest on your counter until it's cool to the touch, then put it into the fridge. Once it's completely cooled, you're ready to use it. This caramel sauce is stable at room temperature and good right out of the fridge, so you don't have to warm it up and worry about melting your ice cream. Thanks for watching this episode of Eat at Joe's. It's always great to have you in my kitchen. I hope I see you again soon. I can't believe I spilled the cream. I never do that. Unbelievable. Okay. Do you want me to fix that tripod for you?